Are digital precious metals a good thing? There's a company creating tokens for precious metals on the blockchain. Why should you pay attention to this or care at all? While this company fixates on this new technology as a new investment market, I believe they unknowingly laid out the groundwork to return towards a monetary system using gold and silver. We will go over the pros and cons of digital precious metals with this specific company coming up. Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. I can hear you clacking away on the keyboard already. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Yes, there is no one who embodies that motto more than me, but I thought I would present some alternative thoughts that may actually help overcome gold and silver's downsides, and there are a few. The biggest downsides being storage, security, and logistics. Storage in terms of both size of your metal stack and location. A lot of home insurance companies won't cover precious metals on their policies. Some people don't feel comfortable storing their precious metals within their residence, which leads us to security. Whether transporting or storing, there is a threat of theft or maybe worse. And finally, logistics. Shipping a large quantity of precious metals isn't always easy. They are quite heavy. If you sold a lot of precious metals to another individual halfway around the world, it would take some time before those metals reach them, as opposed to a digital transfer of currency where it can be nearly instant. This brings us to Atomize. Since I believe in full disclosure, what is my relationship with Atomize? There is none. I am not sponsored or paid by anyone for this video. It's simply an interesting topic I wanted to share with you all and hear what you think about it. Atomize is a company creating digital tokens for assets. I feel that they are modernizing and revolutionizing the commodity marketplace. They are building a tokenization platform as well as a marketplace to digitize ownership of physical assets. Investors and commercial users can exchange tokens on this marketplace. Right now, they are doing it with platinum and palladium. They hope to expand into gold and silver by the end of the year and base metals next year. How it works is they take inventory and create a record on the blockchain of that inventory, minting tokens that represent title ownership to specific identifiable pieces of metal. They take the metal from the tokenizer or asset provider who bring them the metal to be digitized. They hold it in a secure facility in a tier 1 vault. This company happens to use Brinks. Inventory tracking is done by Brinks, and Atomize mirrors these numbers, and a third-party auditor reviews it. Atomize then creates tokens, they call this process minting, identifying each token to a specific bar. These tokens are then placed in the provider's wallet. Instead of owning physical palladium, this holder now owns digital title to that physical palladium sitting in the vault at Brinks. So I have 3 bars in front of you as examples, all PAMP, gold, silver, and platinum. Now, if I were to take these 3 bars, send them to Atomize, they would send me a digital title for each of these bars while it is stored at Brinks. So my tokens would be, my gold token would be attached to my gold bar, my silver token would be attached to that silver bar, and my platinum token would be attached to that platinum bar. No other platinum bar, nothing else. It would be attached to those. And another thing that I'm going to get to is nobody else would have ownership of these bars or of my tokens unless I sold them to them. Atomize claims this brings efficiency to ownership of physical materials and frees up many burdens facing those who have physical precious metals. There are logistical issues when buying precious metals. There are security concerns, not just in transit but also with holding physical precious metals. Insurance concerns too. If you are using a private vault to store your physical metals, You incur storage fees and other logistical issues getting your physical precious metals because, let's face it, most of these storage facilities are not located in the town where you live. Atomize claims a more efficient and secure system for ownership. Owning physical material through digital title. Once you own this digital title, it's extremely easy to transfer ownership to other individuals or institutions. And when you sell, you don't actually have to move the physical metal to a new location. Additionally, ownership doesn't have to be full ounces. You can own as low as 1/100th of an ounce of a metal with Atomize. If you have these digital titles but decide it's not for you anymore, Atomize claims the physical metals are fully redeemable and you can have the physical metals shipped to your address. Right off the bat, I see more efficacy and security using Atomize while still retaining the option to physical ownership. Do you actually own physical metals holding these digital titles? Atomize says that you do, and they have zero right to your metals that are held by Brinks. You guys and gals know how I feel about digital investments like Bitcoin, other cryptos, stocks. If you don't hold it, you do not own it. Cryptos are not unique. They're here one day, gone another. That said, if we didn't live in this uncertain world, and if I could actually trust the government, I think Atomize would be an excellent idea for precious metals and using some precious metals as payment. If the government could be trusted, this could be huge for returning to a gold and silver monetary system. Think about it. Everyone has their own Atomize account with some form of physical gold, silver, or platinum holdings. One then uses their digital key as payment based on their physical holdings locked away. It solves the issue many say are problematic with gold and silver. Too heavy, not safe to travel with, etc., etc. A digital key prevents so many of these problems and it allows for sound money at the same time. It solves some other problems too, like with stocks. From a trading aspect, I think this is a great idea. It would completely delegitimize the current gold and silver stock trading market, since these commodities on the stock market are manipulated and overtraded. Overtraded because the EFTs are traded at volumes well above the physical amounts that exist for both gold and silver. If GLD and SLV were traded using Atomize, I could see much higher prices for these metals as the manipulation would be nearly non-existent. On the other hand, if these physical precious metals were turned in for digital tokens, the physical precious metals would be centralized in Brink vaults. Very easy for the government to swoop in and confiscate gold and silver since they are in a few facilities instead of millions of people's homes. If you think these private businesses are going to ignore a government mandate or a government institution, you haven't been paying attention to the last 2 years. Last summer, a private vault in Beverly Hills was raided by the FBI. The business who owned the vault was being charged with federal crimes, but the FBI rummaged through the contents of every box in the vault, even though those individuals' deposit boxes had nothing to do with the crimes or the business being charged with criminal activity. Those individual box holders were not charged with anything, yet their privacy and property were violated by an overreaching government organization. The warrant authorized specifically mentioned the FBI was not authorized to conduct a criminal search of the individual security deposit boxes. Nonetheless, the government opened every box, making a video recording of the contents, and opened sealed envelopes and held the documents up to the camera. They seized the contents of all the security deposit boxes, but reluctantly returned them after several lawsuits were filed. Ultimately, the government abandoned this forfeiture nonsense, but they still kept the records they made during the illegal search, including the video recordings. You can trust these private vaults if you want to, but as I've mentioned before, it opens you up to an entirely new list of concerns. If you already store your precious metals in a private vault, and there are a few folks on here who choose that option, I think Atomize is excellent for your needs. I do think Atomize is an interesting company with fresh ideas tying physical items in a digital world. I could see it ultimately leading to sound money in today's age, but I still fall back on, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. If you're interested, check out the other videos I have on my channel discussing the rarity of these metals and how they can help you preserve and protect your wealth. If you made it this far in the video, you guys and gals are my super stackers and collectors, and I appreciate you. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.